have a lens here that is nearly triple the price of just this baseline camera lens. Guys, this really hurts my feelings. This really hurts my feelings. Fam, have you ever had the feeling of existential dread? You know, that feeling that you're pretty good at something, that you're specifically good at one thing that most other people aren't. You know, I feel that way about photography all the time, that most people can't do what I can do with the camera. It makes me feel good. But then today, as I got home from my run, I watched the Apple event. Literally an hour ago, it's October 13th, and I'm now filled with existential dread that my clients won't even need me in my professional camera anymore. They don't need me. This camera that Apple's about to drop on us is insane. And not just insane, like they have two versions of it, and the Pro version might just legit crap on every Canon Nikon camera made. Like, is this thing better than my professional digital camera? That is my question. So guys, let's rewatch certain parts of the Apple event keynote today, and maybe I can break it down a little bit, because I feel like as a professional photographer, I can kind of compare it to the camera I use now and actually see, like, is this thing better than my camera? Should I be scared that I'm gonna get replaced? All right, let's get into the computer. Looking at the event, we're at the first part of the crazy camera announcement. Now there's two parts, right? This is the first one where she talks about the basic version that most people can afford, but then they completely do like a 180, like heaven to hell, like this is for the big ballers camera Apple Pro look as well. So we're gonna look quickly at this first part, and then we'll jump to the second part.
Combines with our cameras and powerful software to deliver the new dual camera system of iPhone 12. It has the ultra-wide camera that people love and use to take inspiring photos in creative ways. iPhone 12 also has a new wide camera with an f1.6 aperture, our fastest yet.
1.6 wide angle camera lens?
This allows more light to hit the sensor, making every photo better. Along with the wider aperture, we developed our first 7-element lens to maintain sharp detail in your photo from edge to edge. This delivers a 27% improvement in low light performance, so photos and videos all around will have less noise and brighter results. Like in this photo, with fantastic detail in her hair, clothing, and the sun's reflection. On top of this, we use computational photography to deliver even more powerful new features. Our smart HDR3 continues to bring out details in faces like you see here.
Okay, gotta note something real quick. The big thing with digital cameras, especially iPhone, is they're always trying to improve the low light capability. And this right here is actually a super impressive shot for just this entry-level new Apple 12 camera, because a backlit shot is really hard to expose for, because the sun's literally hitting your lens and the front of the person is completely a shadow. So the fact that you can even see her face and see like the colors and the texture on her clothes in the front is very impressive for a camera. Very impressive.
When the sun is so bright behind her. Now it understands scenes with machine learning and applies more adjustments to distinct parts of the photo. For example, Smart HDR3 brings out more detail in the rocks and uses sky segmentation to adjust for color, contrast, and noise.
Was it me, or did those rocks look really good? Those rocks were lit. Some lit ass rocks.
Computational photography also enables night mode, which has been called the best in the industry. Night mode on
This is where I'm getting scared.
iPhone 12 gets even better. The faster aperture captures more light. And now we are expanding night mode to all cameras of iPhone 12 for the first time on the ultra-wide and front TrueDepth camera, which is perfect for night mode selfies. This is without a flash.
What?
These cameras...
Time out. Yeah, it's without a flash, but clearly he's got like a light on him. Look at his pupil. You can clearly see there's a light on him. See, they're trying to play us without a flash. There's a light literally right behind that camera. Jesus.
Mode selfies. This is without a flash. These cameras are incredible. Let's take a look at other photos shot on iPhone 12.
All right, let's see it.
This photo makes use of the ultra-wide lens
What?
while maintaining sharpness and clarity like you see in the...
That's really impressive. The reason why that's impressive is because the detail that you get in the shadows compared to the highlights. And it looks like they're shooting this around like 1 to 3 p.m., which is when the sun is the strongest in the day. So the fact that you can see him nearly perfectly exposed and then the backdrop isn't completely overexposed, like this whole bright area where the sun's directly hitting, whatever sort of computational photography is going on here is really good. The fact that you can see the subject and that the background isn't completely blown out. Because if you were to take out your iPhone camera now, if you try doing a shot where someone's in the shade and there's like bright sun all around them, the person in the shade is going to be properly exposed, but the sun is going to be completely blown out. Like, it's going to be way too exposed. This is a pretty good shot. Like, that's...
the branches and leaves. Here's another ultra-wide photo shot from below. Just look at the amazing details in the clothing and chandeliers. In this low-light portrait photo, the color and warm light in the background come together seamlessly. For video...
Okay, how wide did she say this camera was? All right, so just for comparison for this ultra-wide lens, it's 2.4 aperture, 13 millimeter focal length. That's a really, really wide lens. I had to look it up and compare it to a Canon lens that I would use or that I would want to use but probably can't afford. So this is the closest thing I found. I found the Canon EF 16-35 f2.8 lens, and it goes for $2.2 thousand. Now that is the closest I can get to the specifications of the 2.4 aperture. Here we only have 2.8 aperture. 13 millimeter, this only goes to 16 millimeter. So, like, I have a lens here that is nearly triple the price of just this baseline camera lens. Guys, this really hurts my feelings. Okay, so that's just the baseline Apple phones. And at this point, my existential dread was low to medium, where I was like, maybe they, it's pretty good and all, but maybe it won't, or, replace me as a photographer. Not just yet, because it's there, but who knows if it's all the way there. But then Apple wants to come out and be like, yo, we hit in demon mode. Let's go ahead and show you the real camera. I'm going to get replaced. Dude, what am I going to do? I'm going to become a professional iPhone taker. My mom's going to take photos just as good as mine. Oh my God, I'm so useless.
iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 mini are absolutely amazing. They are the start of a new era for iPhone. Yet that's just half of our iPhone story today. We want to take it even further with our Pro line of iPhones.
You do?
And here they are.
Oh no.
This is iPhone 12 Pro. I'd like to hand it over to Jaws to tell you all about it.
I don't know what we just witnessed. We just witnessed a phone augment out of reality and give us a crazy display. I feel like Apple's doing something next level here that they're not telling us about. This is crazy.
Bright gold finish. The Pro models also feature our incredibly durable ceramic shield. And these models have best-in-class water and dust resistance with an IP68 rating, so they can withstand submersion at up to 6 meters.
I mean, last time I checked, if I drop my Pro digital camera once or submerge it in water even just a little bit, it's RIP. It's goodbye. You could practically throw this bad boy and take you into the shower with you, and you're straight.
For 30.
Canon, what are you doing, Canon? Like, we haven't even gotten into this yet, and Canon can't even tell us that our camera's waterproof or that it can survive a fall. But Apple's out here telling you that their camera's better, and you can go rock climbing with it over the ocean.
They enable powerful computational photography for camera experiences that simply are not possible with traditional cameras. For example, Deep Fusion uses machine learning on the neural engine for
can see the pimples on her forehead and see her eye in the shadows.
We are able to bring deep fusion to all 4 cameras of iPhone 12 Pro, including the front-facing true depth camera.
There's 4 cameras on this thing? There's 4 cameras. There's 4 different lenses essentially on your camera. Or there's 4 different lenses on your phone. My Canon body doesn't even come with a lens.
We combine state-of-the-art camera hardware with this amazing compute power to create a pro camera system that is unlike any other device. iPhone 12 Pro features our amazing ultra-wide camera with the 120-degree field of view.
It's crazy.
And our new wide camera with faster f1.6 aperture and 7-element lens
That's
that
insane.
lets in 27% more light. iPhone 12 Pro also features a 52mm telephoto camera for stunning portraits. So iPhone 12 Pro delivers high-quality optical images at 3 different focal lengths with 4x optical zoom range. The larger size of the iPhone 12 Pro Max provided us with an opportunity to do even more with our Pro camera system. And here's Andrew to tell.
Okay, just so you guys know, all right, 13mm focal length, that's like your ultra wide lens. You're going to be using that for landscapes, crazy fashion photos, when you're inside of places or in tight spaces. 26mm with 1.6 apertures. That's insane. That's a pretty average wide angle lens. You won't get too much distortion on that, but 1.6 aperture on that, that's actually insane. The lens that I'm recording this with at 24mm right now, it only goes down to 2.8 f-stop. This goes down to 1.6, and I paid almost $2,000 for this lens. And so this lens right here is essentially your portrait lens. 50mm or 52mm, pretty much the same thing, is the perfect portrait lens because it doesn't really distort your face. That's why 50mm is the portrait photographer's lens. But this thing goes down to 2.0 f-stop.
So iPhone 12 Pro delivers high-quality optical images at 3 different focal lengths with 4x optical zoom range. The larger size of the iPhone 12 Pro Max provided us with an opportunity to do even more with our Pro camera system. And here's Andrew to tell you all about it.
I'm so scared. I'm so scared of what we're about to see. They're like, welcome to the real Nerd Center. This is the Genius Bar that you can't even go to. Like, what are these computers right here? I haven't even seen those in that Apple Store. They're also low-key flexing on us. Look at this. They got the tower with wheels. This crazy cheese grater looking thing. Oh my God. Andrew Fernandez, I don't even want to know what Andrew Fernandez is about to tell me right now. It's going to make me very upset, but let's go for it.
iPhone 12 Pro Max, we've been able to create our best camera ever. We have a brand new telephoto camera with a 65mm focal length. Moving from a 52mm focal length to a 65mm allows for longer framing in the classic portrait style. With the new telephoto, you can now optically zoom in 2.5 times for even closer shots or tighter crops, which means improving to a 5x optical zoom range from the...
What? So essentially, if you're standing from the same spot taking this photo, this is what it would look like. So the ultra wide, wide, and telephoto. If you're standing in the same spot, for the same model standing in the same spot, this is the difference. Whoa.
From the ultra wide 13mm to the telephoto 65mm. iPhone 12 Pro Max features an all-new massive wide camera with an f1.6 aperture, a new sensor, and new system for optical image stabilization, or OIS. Let me first tell you about the new sensor. It's 47% larger with 1.7 micron pixels, our largest yet. Larger pixels plus a faster aperture gives iPhone 12 Pro Max an incredible 87% improvement in low light, which is our biggest
What does that even mean?
leap in light gathering capability. On top of that, we developed a completely new system for optical image stabilization that adopts a high-end DSLR approach called sensor shift. Sensor shift applies...
Did he just say they're stealing concepts from DSLR cameras, which is essentially pro-level cameras? This is scary.
stabilization to the sensor instead of the heavier lens to precisely control motion in X and Y while maintaining sharpness. This cancels both low and high-frequency disturbances like hand movement or vibrations in a car. In addition, the OIS on all our wide cameras this year can now make 5,000 micro-adjustments per second, which is 5 times more than last year. Along with motion processing advancements, we get stabilized exposure times of up to 2 seconds in low light for handheld shots.
Who's the guy in the background? And you know, I bet all these photos are all Apple photos, or sorry, I bet all these photos are all iPhone photos. But who's the guy in the backdrop? Just like, hey guy, we're recording a keynote here. Do you mind going home, bro? Like, where's your mask anyway? Oh my God.
Equal to a full f-stop increase in light gathering.
Wow.
This sensor shift system is unique to Apple and helps people capture everyday situations with extraordinary images. And it delivers steady video with a truly cinematic feel. Now here's my colleague Alok to tell you more about another feature we created for our pro users.
Oh my God, I'm so scared. Oh, guy in the backdrop. Just substitute. Come on in, guy. You're probably just saving the world back there. No big deal.
These are amazing cameras for pros, and we want to give our pros even more control over the images they capture. Many pros love to capture in RAW, but they're missing the benefit of our sophisticated image fusion. So we'd like to show you a sneak peek of a new feature that combines the control of shooting in RAW with the power of our computational photography. And that's Apple ProRAW.
All right, guys. This is groundbreaking because RAW is essentially the file format that professional photographers shoot in. It's a very large format, but the quality and the depth of colors and everything is just superior. And when you go to edit the photo, you can do a lot more because of how high quality and how much depth there is in the bits of that photo. So the fact that Apple is now introducing their version of ProRAW, of raw file photos, like no longer just JPEGs, this is actually kind of scary. Oh my God.
This will be an incredible feature for pros and will be available in the iPhone camera app.
My Instagram bio is going to be like, yo, so I'm a pro iPhone photographer. I got the Apple 12 Pro, baby. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. Oh, oops, I want no captions.
On iPhone 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max later this year.
Oh my God.
It provides many of the benefits of our multi-frame image processing
No, stop it.
and computational photography, like deep fusion and smart HDR, and combines them with the depth and flexibility of a RAW format. In order to achieve this, we constructed a new pipeline that takes components of the processing we do in our CPU, GPU, ISP, and Neural Engine, and combines them into a new deep image file, computed at the time of capture without any shutter delay. And we do this for all 4 cameras, dynamically adapting for various scenes while maintaining our intuitive camera experience. Things like sharpening, white balance, and tone mapping become instructions rather than being baked into the photo.
Okay, so guys, real quick, just so you know, HDR is essentially when a camera takes the photo, but it takes multiple shots of the photo, like, you know, like the computer of the camera in the background. And so what it does is it exposes one shot for the really bright parts of the photo, exposes one shot for the middle, like the perfect exposure of the photo, and then it takes another photo and exposes it for the shadows. So HDR is when it takes those 3 photos or more of different exposures and it combines them into one perfect shot. Like with this shot with this Asian girl, the reason why you could see the texture on her skin, but then see some of the detail in the shadows and still see some of the shadows on her hands and on the table like that. Your iPhone does that now, and it does it so fast. Like the HDR capabilities actually on your iPhone are better than the ones I have in my camera. Like when I go to do HDR in my camera, on my DSLR camera, it's like a whole process, and it takes like 5 seconds. Apple's doing it instantaneously. Oh my God.
Delivering full creative control over color, detail, and dynamic range. Here you can see.
And then right there, it also said, now you can use these professional ways to edit. This is how professionals edit. We do white balance, sharpening, channel mixer, which is your color curves and your highlights. Oh my God.
Color, detail, and dynamic range.
All within the phone.
Here you can see a photo shot with Apple ProRAW. Notice how it's taken full advantage of deep fusion to capture a wide range of light and shadow from multiple exposures.
Yeah. See?
Because all the data is contained in Apple ProRAW, this image can be processed in various ways while retaining the crisp, beautifully rendered detail.
And you kind of heard him say it there, the multiple exposures and the way to edit the photos afterwards because of the detail of the shot, just like RAW format files do. Oh my
can
God.
edit Apple ProRAW directly in our Photos app and other professional photo editing apps. We're also creating an API for third-party apps to capture images in Apple ProRAW. This is really the best of both worlds, the flexibility of RAW with the power of Apple's computational photography. And now, back to Jaws.
iPhone 12 Pro allows you to take absolutely stunning photos. Even at dusk, you can see the incredible color and texture in the shadows.
Oh my God.
You can see this ultra-wide shot preserves the detail in the cracks of the desert floor.
Oh my God.
You can almost feel it.
ISO
With deep
25.
fusion, you can even see the detail of her dress in this low light setting.
Wow. That's actually kind of insane.
In this classic black and white, you can feel the sun glistening on the horse. On a tripod, we can take night mode even further, capturing the pop of color in the tent, as well as the stars in the night sky. Now, let's talk.
All right, guys, well, that's it. I officially am done with photography. I'm going to change the whole direction of this channel. Peace out. This was the last angle. No, I'm just kidding. That's really impressive. Apple is completely killing the game. I wish Canon and Nikon would innovate as fast as they do. You can always make the camera and the hardware, optimal and really quality and take amazing photos, but at the end of the day, a photographer is an artist. A photographer has an idea, a concept, leads the team, leads the direction of everything, and you can't replace that unless Apple comes out with a feature that tells you the right angle. Then we're really screwed. But until then, your boy's still scared, and this camera is way too good. We're screwed. We're all screwed. All right, guys. Goodbye. See ya. Instagram @BruceAllen. Print shot below. All that stuff. Like I said, I'm quitting. Bye.